The Olympic torch has been taken deep into the Brazilian Amazon, where one of the country's main tribes has welcomed it in traditional fashion. The Desana tribe is one of Brazil's 1,400 tribes in the Amazon rainforest. Al Jazeera's John Holman reports.
The Amazon, the biggest rainforest in the world and home to many of Brazil's 1,400 tribes. Among them, the Desana people, who are looking forward to a special occasion. The chief's son Mirupu, which means blowing wind, is taking off his everyday Western clothes and putting on the tribe's celebratory gear. The Olympic torch is coming to visit as part of its countrywide tour. It's a significant honour.
Olha, a tocha para nós, porque o fogo é
Fire is very important in our tradition. For us, the torch is nothing more and nothing less than the sacred fire blessed by a shaman.
Finally, it arrives, escorted by a small armada of boats. Mirupu's father, the chief, takes it into one of the tribe's sacred spaces. The Desana welcome its presence with music and ritual, before the women of the tribe present gifts of thanks. Everyone gets to share in the experience. Then as quickly as it came, it's gone.
I think it's very good because now the people can see that no matter the Indian or white guys, we are only one. And this export make everybody be here together.
The torch is leaving this community with a general feeling of being glad to have taken part, but the bigger picture in Brazil is that subsequent governments have cut the funding for indigenous communities, and plans to create new reservations for them have been put on hold. The torch sped on to Catalão, a community of 106 floating houses on the river. Unbridled excitement ruled on the central jetty, while villagers took the flame on a tour of the waterways between their houses. When Raimunda had managed to calm down, she told us what this means to her.
It's unique, something to tell my grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
For those in a region which can seem far from the outside world,
Calamity strikes in a Patterson household. One brother made sacrifices as a minor in the interior to take care of his family, while another grew envious because he thought the other was the family's favorite. The row that ensued between the siblings ended in a deadly way.
The god sister of 23-year-old Dexter Jules, upon hearing of his slaying. It all happened shortly after 8:30 a.m. Saturday. A heated argument between two brothers ended tragically after the elder brother picked up a knife seen here and stabbed 23-year-old Dexter Jules to his chest. Another brother, Wayne Jules, said that he had tried desperately to be the peacemaker that morning, but his repeated attempts failed. The stabbing happened in Patterson, where the family operates a small grocery shop. Reporters were told that because of the assailant's repeated threats and sometimes violent behavior towards the rest of the family, his mother built him his own comfort zone in front of the house. Police say that the assailant, identified as Orange Jules, is no stranger to them. He has been in and out of the lockups, the most recent arrest for assaulting his mother.
Yesterday, IKtv told you about the Laborie Pan concert, and today we have an update for you. The Laborie Steel Pan project kicked off its celebration of 10 years of teaching steel pan in St. Lucia to the youth with a free concert on Sunday, June 19th. The event was held in the community's market square. It sought to expose the talents of the youth of the Laborie and recognize those leaders who continue to donate their time and energy to the cause.
If you need evidence of how music can change lives in a small community, look no further than the Laborie Steel Pan project. Started in 2006 by Laborie Promotions with the support of the Cultural Development Foundation and the Poverty Reduction Fund, over 100 residents between the ages of 6 and 20 have benefited from professional music training and opportunities to perform. The free concert on Sunday, June 19th was well attended and paid tribute to the Laborie Steel Pan project's leader, Quill Barthelemy. Laborie Promotions member Yves Renard says a decade of teaching Pan is certainly cause for celebration and the right time to recognize a progressive, talented and committed community leader. The free concert kicked off a year-long 10th anniversary celebration for the Laborie Steel Pan project. The organizers are appealing for public support for the youth.
The Jamaican Minister of Health gave updates on the latest Zika virus statistics.
Jamaica now has a total of 16 confirmed cases of the Zika virus, 2 being pregnant women. Minister of Health Dr. Christopher Tufton made the announcement on Thursday. All confirmed cases have recovered from the illness, and Minister Tufton says the 2 pregnant women will be continuously monitored. Of the total 16 cases, there were 8 male and 8 females, 7 of whom are from St. Catherine, 8 from Kingston and St. Andrew, and 1 from St. Thomas. These cases were confirmed from a pool of over 1,000 which were tested.
A total of 1,969 notifications for Zika has been reported to the Ministry of Health as at the 29th of May 2016. Of these notifications, 1,387 fit the case definition for Zika and were classified as suspected Zika fever. We have received the highest number of notifications from Kingston and St. Andrew, some 465, followed by St. Catherine, 405. Of these 787 which were tested, 403 results have been received, of which 16 were positive for Zika virus, and another 6 preliminary positive results are now undergoing a second round of testing at the University Hospital of the West Indies for confirmation.
Minister Tufton, however, says these confirmed and suspected cases are not a concrete reflection of what is happening on the ground, expressing that the reality is there could be many more unreported cases of the Zika virus in Jamaica. The Jamaican Health Minister says the ministry's fear is in keeping with the World Health Organization's proclamation that up to 70% of the population could become infected over time.
That's the WHO's formula based on what they have been monitoring since the advent of this disease globally. However, again, guided by the WHO, only 1 out of 4 of the infected persons will have symptoms. Up to 50% of symptomatic persons may be sick enough to need to see the doctor. Fewer still of those infected who visit the doctor will have their blood taken in order to confirm Zika virus infection. And of the persons who are ill, only about 1 in 1,000 may have severe symptoms. So a lot of times you go to the doctor sees symptoms, the rash, the fever, and they say, listen, I think you have Zika, prescribe the antihistamine, don't bother do any tests. And clearly we can't force people to be tested.
A 57-year-old Trinidadian woman was stabbed to death 83 times in New York. We get more in this report.
Over to some sad news. A 57-year-old Trinidadian woman was murdered on Saturday. Liza Millett was found suffering from stab wounds in her Brooklyn apartment by police. She was rushed to hospital where she was pronounced dead. Miss Millett had been stabbed 83 times. It's reported that the officers responded to a dispute involving a knife attack at the building where Millett lived. Upon their arrival, another resident, 48-year-old Dorothy Curry, was found barricaded in her apartment down the corridor from Millett's home. A 6-inch kitchen knife was found at the scene. Curry was taken for psychiatric evaluation at Kings County Hospital and subsequently charged with murder. Millett visited Trinidad and Tobago mere weeks ago to celebrate her 57th birthday on May 21.
Cuba's tourism revolution takes off with more flights. International airlines are expanding services to Cuba to cater for a growing number of tourists. The United States has approved more commercial flights to Cuba as relations continue to improve between the two countries. Holguin province is part of Cuba's tourism revolution, but its locals say that authorities are not doing enough to prepare for the coming changes. Al Jazeera's Daniel Schwilmer reports from Holguin in eastern Cuba.
Holguin, both the city and province, are opening up to the world, receiving more flights. This one from the German city of Frankfurt.
Wonderful beach and people very lucky. It's good.
This is just the advance party. Many more flights are scheduled in the coming months to explore Holguín, its beaches, natural beauty, the birthplace of Fidel and Raúl Castro, its horse-drawn taxis.
Tourism offers us a lot of options. More recreation because there's nothing to do in this town. Nothing for the youngsters. Absolutely nothing.
This is where Christopher Columbus and the early European settlers first set foot. The news reaches here eventually that Cuba is changing, opening up. But what about remote, untouched Holguín with its timeless charm and delicate infrastructure? They say they want change too. That same timelessness, the locals say, the remoteness that attracts many tourists, has stifled Holguín's growth, induced its youngsters to leave for Havana or beyond. New benches and Wi-Fi in the plazas may not be enough. But the government says it's investing and is ready for the tourists.
The customer is our priority. We take them very seriously. We want sustainable tourism, at one with nature, a very professional service.
Up next, your international news.